Okay, um, the when it comes to the myth, the next myth that the Panther Party has always included different people from different religions. That is 100% not true. 100% not true. The Panther Party was not a religious party, actually had a problem with the way that religion was. They saw religion as clouding black people's minds in the civil rights movement. That religion was causing blacks to team up with whites and not uh, deal with black interests in the way that they should. They started going further and further away from black interests. So it was very difficult for the Black Panther community to see the founders doing the same thing. Very difficult, because it's one thing to not know what's going on and it happens to you. But when you know, you've seen it happening, you formed because it was happening to civil rights organizations. And you formed because the civil rights organizations were being prevented from doing anything about the things that were happening to black people. To see founders fall into that same trap was very difficult for the elders in the black community that had became Panthers. It was very difficult. So the decision had to be made to separate from the founders, which was an extremely difficult decision for many communities to make, but they had to make it. Okay, so no, as the founders started getting more in with white people, and more white people started coming around, depending on the group of white people that they were talking to. If that group of white people were Christians, you started hearing the founders changing and saying that the Panthers were for Christians, was welcome Christians. You started having some of the hundreds that went with the founders during the separation. Many of them started getting upset at the founders seeming to lean more toward the whites that were Christians, and you had a separation between the ones that even went with the founders. Some of them separated from the founders after leaving, separating from the community. They separated from the founders, and they started leaning more toward Islam and the Muslims, because they had heard all this stuff. The whole premise was that Christianity had messed up the civil rights movement, and since more of them saw themselves more connected to Malcolm than Martin, many of them decided to join the Muslims and leave the founders alone as well. Okay, so, and that hopefully that helps you understand that part. The Panther Party has never been a religious thing, or even related to a religious thing. The Panther Party is a political party for the empowerment